The Soul Kings Military Unleashed, Part 6. Recap. Starting with the Spiritual National Guard, or as I have now changed it into, due to their history, the Spiritual Citizens Force. I'm going to call it the Spiritual Citizens Force from here on out. So, recap. First off, the Spiritual Citizens Force, which I did in Part 1 and Part 2, consists of the Perfect Love Infantry 9. That's the invasion force for the Spiritual Citizens Force. The purge targets of the Spiritual Citizens Force are the 9 negative belief system pillars, and the outcome of their battle, or the outcome of their invasion, meaning the Perfect Love Infantry 9, its outcome made of, or I want to say manifested, or elicited the 9 foul principality sins. You follow what I'm saying? The invasion force was the Perfect Love Infantry 9 in the Spiritual Citizens Force parable. They invaded and took out the 9 negative belief system pillars. The outcome became the 9 foul principality sins. And then the next one, the Soul Kings Military Entrenchment Part 2, which is what I covered in 3, or the Soul Kings Military Unleashed video Part 3. The Spiritual Army parable. The Spiritual Army's invasion force are of the 9 fragrant principality virtues. The 9 fragrant principality virtues. This is what my Spiritual Army's invasion force consists of. And they invaded and took out the 9 foul principality sins, which just turned into them due to my invasion of the 9 negative belief system pillars. And the outcome of the battle in which the 9 fragrant principalities manifested or effectuated due to their purging of the 9 foul principality sins became the 9 enemy regulation forces. This was the Spiritual Army parables. The Spiritual Army parables information. The 9 enemy regulation forces was the outcome of that battle. And now on to the Soul Kings Military Entrenchment Part 3. In Part 3, the Spiritual Navy parable. The Spiritual Navy parable. The Spiritual Navy parable, its invasion force, the 9 divine visual senses, and or the 9 major measurement words. It's actually 10 major measurement words, or 10 divine senses. Not senses, visual forces. The 9 divine visual forces, or the 10 major measurement words. The 10 major, because in other parables I have 10 of them, but for this one I have 9. So it's either 9 to 10, but it's the 9 divine visual forces and or the 9 major measurement words. There. Purge targets are of what just became about from the Spiritual Army parable, and of the 9 enemy regulation forces. The 9 divine visual forces is the invasion force within the Spiritual Navy parable. Or purge targets the 9 enemy regulation forces, and the outcome of this battle here becomes the 9 chakra system. Why the 9 chakra system becoming the outcome of this battle? Simple, because everything in the world currently, whether you wish to believe this or not, all artificial ethnic codings. All artificial ethnic coding. And if we allow them to bring artificial intelligence into the world, their desires to regulate their foul principality sins within our psyche's mind heart spaces will be unstoppable. Or at least for a long while. Moving on. And now the Soul Kings Military Entrenchment Part 4 of 9. Which consists of the Spiritual Marine Corps parable, the one that I just did in the video previous to this one. And before I go on to the 5th part, I'm going to have to read the enlisted personnel once again. So, the invasion force for the Spiritual Marine Corps parable, the 9-dimensional base and or sword form parable, the introduction of it, the information thereof. Their purge targets, the 9 chakra system. So you're getting ready to take out the 9 chakra system for the 9-dimensional base and or sword form parable to stand thereof versus the chakra system. Technically, the chakra system will still play as a foundation until we truly no longer need it. And the domination force and or outcome of objectives will be the 9-dimensional base and or sword form. The parable, meaning the introduction, the simple story of what it is. Because remember, this is all a spiritual Soul King Military Unleash. Soul King Military attacking the foul principality city with it, plagiarizing our mind heart spaces currently. That's what this is. It's the combination of words out loud that may help moving forward. So, The Spiritual Marine Corps parable, the enlisted personnel idols, marching in at E1. The Soul Private, PV1's rank chapter invasion force, the sword handle, purge target, root chakra, domination force, the white leadership. E2, the Soul Private First Class, or PF's rank chapter invasion force. And I got PF here and PV1 here because those are the abbreviations of the rank in their respective military branches in real life. The Soul Private First Class rank chapter invasion force, the sword base, or the soul sword base. I keep calling it the soul sword, knowing who it belongs to right now currently because I'm depicting. This is also a depiction, you see. I am depicting you all into becoming one massive soul tribe family again, or free soul tribe, and all the other titles that I tied with it, Nirvanic. You follow what I'm saying? This is a depiction. I am using words to steal you, to steal the soul's people, period, from the devil's people, or from the devil, period. You follow what I'm saying? Just using words. Moving along. So, at E3 now, the Soul Lance Corporal, or LCPL's rank chapter invasion force. The Soul Sword tip. It's not the Devil's Sword. It is. Because it's just reality. Pointing it out, stating what the obvious is. The sword belongs to the devil at the current moment in time, no matter how we like to look at this. It's the devil's sword. But I just have a depiction to turn this to a different direction. Soul game, remember? So, the Soul Lance Corporal, LCPL's rank chapter invasion force, the Soul Sword tip. Purge targets, the solar plexus chakra. Domination force, indoor outcome of objective, revealing the white civilians. So, the Soul Sword handle, or the Devil's Sword handle, unfortunately, the white leadership, based at the root. Then you have the Soul Sword base, or blade, not base, blade. The Soul Sword blade, targeting the sacral chakra, or the Soul Sword blade is of the white fighters, stationed at the sacral chakra, so to speak. Just a parable. Then you have the Soul Sword tip, just a part all the way in right now. That needs to be grabbed and ripped out. This is my sword. The devil's just using it against me. The devil is turning all things nature against nature. The devil is turning all things nature against nature. It's the same story. I'm telling you the same thing over and over again. Moving forward. The Soul Sword tip, the white civilians. Notice the sequence though. At E3, or let me say E1, since it's the root. At E1, in the Spiritual Citizens Force, it started out as racism. Then racism got beat, became greed. Then greed got beat and became exploitation. And exploitation got beat and became the root chakra. Then the root chakra is now getting beat to become the white leadership. Notice how it all rolls to what it is truly. It's all rolling out to be what it is truly. Bringing your eyes, vision to reality itself. You follow what I'm saying? And now for the non-commissioned officer idols before I move on to the fifth part. At E4, the Soul Corporal, CPL's rank chapter invasion force. The Soul King 6 arms. Now this belongs nothing to the devil at all. This is just straight up soul. Straight up God. Here. You follow me? The Soul King 6 arms. Purge target the throat chakra. Purge target the heart chakra, not throat chakra. That one's next. Domination force, indoor outcome of objectives, the black civilians. Bringing your eyes to see what these things truly are I speak of. E5. The Soul Sergeant, or SGT's rank chapter invasion force, the Soul King 6 arms. I just messed up my whole story, didn't I? Let me reverse. Too bad I can't edit it. A4, the Soul Corporal CPL's rank chapter invasion force, the Soul King's feet and legs, targeting the heart chakra to become the black civilians. The Soul King Sergeant SGT's rank chapter invasion force, the Soul King 6 arms. Purge target the throat chakra. Domination force, the black fighters. That's correct. Doesn't matter. E6, the Soul Staff Sergeant, SSGT's rank chapter invasion force, the Soul King's torso, targeting the third eye chakra to become the black leadership. Senior non-commissioned officer idols. E7, the Soul Gunnery Sergeants, SGT's Rank Chapter Invasion Force. This is why when I'm done with this, when I'm done bringing all the awareness to what all the ranks are, I'm not going to be using them anymore. Because it's using the ranks and trying to bring awareness to what the ranks is simultaneously with this entire message was also kind of making it difficult to put out here. I don't need to use their ranks to label and describe my military. I'm just doing it to bring you awareness. You're more important than what I personally desire. You will always be more important than what I personally desire. The Soul Gunnery Sergeant, SGT's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Soul King's Neck and Head, targeting the Crown Chakra, Domination Force, the Soul Standard. At E8, the Soul Master Sergeant and Soul First Sergeants, Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Soul King's actual self, and or the Spiritual Resurrection. Purge target, the Soul Star Chakra, Domination Force, the Soul Driver. Domination Force, the Soul Driver. I like saying that. Moving forward, E9, the Soul Master Gunnery Sergeant, SGTs, Soul Sergeant Major, SGT, MAJs, and Soul Sergeant Major of the Spiritual Marine Corps. Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Ethereal Mother, Akasha. Akasha means ether. So it's like I'm saying the Ethereal Mother Ether, essentially. Moving forward, their purge targets, the Earth Star Chakra itself, Domination Force, and their outcome of objective, the Soul's Grounds. The stage upon which we are all standing on, that I got this here reflector technique that I'm going to use to bounce your stupidity back to you so it can hit you in your face and knock you off of the stage. And then it'll knock you out of the scenery. And once you get out of the scenery, destruction. Moving forward. Now, the Soul King's Military Entrenchment Part 5 of 9. Stage, the Free Soul Tribe Family, uniting every melanated man, woman, and child within the North American continent, with those of the South American continent, and the melanated of Asia. Melanated of Australia first, then the melanated of Asia. That's how I had it in order, because the way it was going to happen, I'm in North America first, unite this continent, faster than everybody else in any other continent will be able to. Yeah, I got a lot of fake beefs coming. I do. Then unite South America. Then unite all of the melanated of Africa. Unite all the melanated in South America. Then all of the melanated in Africa. And then after Africa, Australia, or simultaneously. Meaning I'm going for 2 continents in one when I start going for Africa. Just want to get this out the way as fast as possible. You dig what I'm saying? So then you got Australia, the melanated of Australia. Unite all of the family members of that continent right there with all of the family members in the melanated family members of the Asian continent. And then the melanated family members of the European continent to become one free soul tribe family again. Branch, the Spiritual Coast Guard Parable, the Perfect Love Coasties and or the Perfect Love Coast Guardsmen. Why do I keep saying perfect love? Because perfect love is going to defeat foul love. Foul love manifests offspring ending. Perfect love manifests offspring continuation. Perfect love gives life. Foul love ends it. Perfect love gives life. Foul love ends it. I stand on the perfect love grounds. I stand on perfect love grounds. At least I desire to. Because the world is structured on foul love grounds right now currently, which is making it difficult to stand the way we need to stand. To get our feet on the grounding energy properly, so to speak. All the concrete. Moving forward. So, facts. The Coast Guard was established August 14th, 1790, and it's under the Department of Homeland Security, which was established in 2003. During times of war, the Coast Guard is under the Department of the Navy, which was established the 10th month, on the 13th day in the year 1775. During times of war, the Coast Guard falls under the Navy. This is why you're going to hear more oceanic leadership ranks as I get ready to read it out to you. But those are just the facts about their Coast Guard. You got to know about what they have. So, the invasion force for the Coast Guard is titled the 9-Dimensional Planetary Enlightenment Infantry. This is where I get to put my strongest type of style of, fighting into the world. I am the God of enlightenment. I'm going to prove it to you. Purge targets, the 9-dimensional base indoor sword form. Remember, it was just a parable last time because I introduced it to you. Now it's the whole freaking form itself. And then the outcome, or the domination force, the 9-dimensional base indoor sword form enlightenment. Let's begin. So, swimming in at E1, the rank is titled the Soul Seaman Recruit, or SR's rank chapter invasion force. Same ranks as the Navy. Its invasion force, the taxonomy hierarchy. Purge targets, the white leadership. Domination force, North America, Africa, enlightenment. That's exactly what this is about to be. All the way down to the 9th one. All continents and about 3 other things that I haven't said yet. But due to all of the other battles that took place, rolled up into this being the outcome here. E1, domination, once again, I'm going to read it out. E1, the Soul Seaman Recruit, SR's rank chapter invasion force, the taxonomy hierarchy, targeting the white leadership. Purge targets the white leadership. Domination force, North America, Africa. Enlightenment. E2, the Soul Seaman Apprentices, rank chapter invasion force. SA is the abbreviation. It's invasion force. Knowledge of DNA and RNA. Knowledge of DNA and RNA, yes. What does DNA stand for? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribo and nucleic are actually one word, but still it has 3 letters. But it's actually 2 words when you look it up. When you look up the abbreviation, it's just 2 words, DA. But they have a DNA. And that's their thing, man. They're the ones that gave all the names to everything and everything there is. Like I said, everything's an artificial ethnic coding. Why does it have 3 letters when it's only 2 words? Whatever. Here, RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. And the information or the invasion force of the knowledge of DNA and RNA will be purged target. This purged target will be of the white fighters. Domination force and their outcome of objective, South America, Africa, enlightenment. You'll see how it's going to work. E3, the Soul Seaman, or SN's rank chapter invasion force, the 3 branches and/or strands of science, targeting the white civilians, white civilian purge targets. Domination outcome, Africa, enlightenment. Why do I say Africa? Because I have a way to spell Africa as the world has its way to spell Africa. The world spells its way of Africa as AFRICA. I spell the Africa the way I spell it is AFRAKA. Af-ra-ka. Or Af-ra-ka. Ever heard of the Merkaba? Merkaba. Merkaba. Merkaba is a geometric symbol, which means light soul body. Ka means soul. First sun soul. Af means first. Ra means sun. Ka means soul. First sun soul. Africa enlightenment. That's why I call it that. And that there will be stationed at E3, the Soul Seaman and/or SN's rank chapter invasion force, the 3 branches and/or strands of science, purge target, the white civilians, domination force, Africa enlightenment. How do I see this working though? Once you know better, you do better. And the information or the enlightenment information that I'm putting here for the military's might, or for the Coast Guard's might, is source connection information. There's source connecting information. I only selected things or selected information for this enlightenment infantry that will guarantee to some degree reconnect you with source. That's why you hear science, and that's why you hear taxonomy hierarchy for E1, knowledge of DNA and RNA at E2, and then the 3 branches of science, for crying out loud, at E3. You follow what I'm saying? So moving forward now, the non-commissioned officer idols to make you strong, give you a stronger connection with source through knowledge, to give you a stronger connection to the infinite source through knowledge. That's the whole point of this right here, and all this stuttering that I'm doing and trying to read faster so I don't run out of time again. You follow me? A stronger reconnection to source through knowledge. This is the first thing we need or can use to get out of this, to beat the things that are causing us to live the way we don't want to live. You just said something was doing something to something. You know how the world gets whenever anything is mentioned about a thing doing something to a thing, get all deflectious and frustrating and deviating. Moving on to the non-commissioned officer idols. At E4, the Sole Petty Officer 3rd Class, or PO3's rank chapter invasion force, the periodic table of elements, purge target the black civilians. Remember, this is an enlightenment infantry. I'm sending foot soldiers of knowledge into thy mind heart spaces to purge and or destroy all of the artificial things within it. Everything natural will be the only thing to remain. Moving forward, Domination Force, Australia and or Oceania, Africa, Enlightenment. Oceania, Australia, yeah. It's actually called Oceania, or it was called Oceania before Australia. Most likely it was. At E5, the Sole Petty Officer 2nd Class, or PO2's rank chapter invasion force, Walter Russell's periodic chart of elements. Purge target the black fighters, Domination Force, Asia, Africa, Enlightenment. Asia, Africa, Enlightenment. That's what I'm going to call it. And then at E6, the Sole Petty Officer 1st Class, PO1's rank chapter invasion force, the 4 fundamental forces of nature. Purge targets the black leaderships, Domination Force, Europe, Africa, Enlightenment. This is my spiritual Coast Guard Enlightenment infantry. Now for the senior non-commissioned officer idols. 87, the Sole Chief Petty Officer, or CPO's rank chapter invasion force, the 12 zodiac element signs, or the 12 zodiac sign elements. However you want to call them. Notice it's elements, science, hierarchies, DNA, knowledge of DNA. So far it's just science and DNA though. Elements and science, things that connect us to the infinite source, because I personally believe, according to the logic, source is the life force within us. Source is the life force within us. This information, this enlightenment infantry reconnects us to this. And if we are reconnected to our better knowing, how do you think our behavior would be showing? That's the whole purpose of all of this. Then at E8. Here, let me finish this right quick. Senior Non-Commissioned Officer Idols E7. The Sole Chief Petty Officer, or CPO's rank chapter invasion force, the 12 zodiac sign elements. Purge target, the Soul Standard. That's the one that just came about, right? It can be enhanced though, because remember, this whole thing is an enhancement. I am going to beat you by bettering you. That's what this is. I'm going to beat you by bettering you. This is how I'm going to win. This is why you can't beat me. Because I'm going to beat you by making you better than what you are. Well, how are you going to beat us then? I'm not going to beat you. That's the thing. I'm a lieutenant. Lie, lieutenants. So yeah, I'm lying to you by saying I'm about to beat you. But in reality, I'm making you better. But I'm a real life supervillain. But in reality, I'm helping everything I look at. But I'm a destroyer god, right? But in reality, I'm force fixing everything in nature. Moving forward, E8. Let me finish E7 first. The Sole Chief Petty Officer CPO's rank chapter invasion force, the 12 zodiac element signs. Purge target, the Soul Standard, Domination Force, and their outcome of objectives, the Sun Soul's Enlightenment. Remember, I got it lined up son, father, mother. Son, father, mother. I got it lined up like that for a reason. Now here you about to see why. At E8, the Sole Chief Petty Officer, or SCPOs, and Sole Command Senior Chief Petty Officer, CSCPOs, rank chapter invasion force. All of this is still kind of relatively new to me. The meteorology, the 7 base SI units. Meteorology. This information will tell you about how to properly read frequencies. Over in France, they have something known as the SI base units, which stands for Système International, which talks about how the length and the time and the luminous intensity and things of that nature, how these 7 base things, these 7 base SI units are the measurement tools for all frequencies. They're the measurement tools for all form of frequency. That's what the 7 SI base units are. That's why I wanted to put them in here as an Enlightenment infantry soldier. You follow what I'm saying? Or an Enlightenment infantry coastie. You follow me? Moving forward. Meteorology, the invasion force there. Purge target, the sole driver. Our actual selves? Yeah, meteorology is going to be targeting our actual selves to turn it into domination force, the Heavenly Father's enlightenment. The Heavenly Father's enlightenment is the outcome of the objective here. So now you got the Sun Soul's enlightenment and the Heavenly Father's enlightenment. Who do you think is next for the way my military is working? Because now that these two are going to be back at full power, enlightening the mother will be nothing but fun and enjoyable. Did you notice every form of contact we have with our women balances us out? Yeah, they just feel good to us in every way possible. This is why the devil has such a easy time using them against us, as they are doing, as it is doing right now currently. She. Our women do nothing but feel good to us. Moving forward here. 89. The Soul Master Chief Petty Officer, MCPOs, or Soul Command Master Chief Petty Officers, CMCPOs, and Soul Master Chief Petty Officer of the Spiritual Coast Guard, MCPOCGs, Rank Chapter Invasion Force. All of the sacred geometric symbols. That'll be the next one there. That'll be the next Enlightenment Infantry portion right there. All of the sacred geometric symbols. Their purge target, the soul grounds. Domination force and/or outcome of objective, the ethereal mother's enlightenment. My home's enlightenment. For the ethereal mother is my home. The one who is, in a sense, in this prison, in this reality. Because the ethereal mother is reality. The ethereal mother is locked up. And I'm about to force her out of this imprisonment. Liberate our queen. Moving on now. The warrant officer idols for the Spiritual Coast Guard's parable. Now, the Coast Guard only has 3 warrant officers. It doesn't have a warrant officer 1 or CW5. The warrant officers do not have a CW or a W1 or a CW5. Or the Coast Guard doesn't have those 2 specific warrant officers. So here. Rolling in at CW2, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I2's rank chapter, the unconscious mind. That's all that's going to be there. CW3 for the Spiritual Coast Guard, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I3's rank chapter, the subconscious mind. And then for CW4, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I4's rank chapter, the conscious mind. Unconscious mind, the physical body that is. Subconscious mind, the heart of all hearts. And conscious mind, where source derives from. I believe you, my dear family. Moving along, with the time I have left, now for the Kabbalah leadership. I'm going to just go ahead and read through it and shut the video off. Now for the commissioned officer idols of the Spiritual Coast Guard parable. Starting with the junior grade officer idols. At 01, the Soul Ensign or ENS's rank chapter domination force. The definition of Kabbalah and Sapphirot. I just did some connections or just did some studying. It turns out, which you should already know, Jew is the son of Israel. Jew is the son of Israel. So what, you mean the Jewish people? Jewish peoples are the sons of the Israeli people? Yeah. Jew means Judah or Yeshuda. I believe that's how you pronounced it. Yeshuda. I have to look at it again. And what am I getting at here? When I started doing the definitions or studying of the Kabbalah and find out it's rabbinical, yes, I believe that's how you pronounce it, rabbinical Hebrew origins, I found, I said it in the previous video that it was a Greek origin, no, it was a rabbinical Hebrew origin, the word Kabbalah, and the word, I found that it means to accept or to receive, you follow what I'm saying? And then within the Kabbalah, all you see are the 10 Sapphirots. That's another part of this right here. The 10 Sapphirots is another definition for you to look into. The 10 Sapphirots means emanations. So what derives from the infinite source is what you receive and or accept. The Kabbalah is a sacred geometric symbol and or is a cipher, so to speak. That's what the definition says. It is an esoteric cipher. And the word esoteric was specifically designed for a few people to get. But it's about to be designed for everyone to get now. Not just a few. Everyone is going to be able to get this. And it is a not too complex cipher or code, which labels and describes how the infinite source moves to, within, and throughout all of humanity into the physical world. What we have all been saying now, right? All of us have, right? Moving forward, here. So, the Soul Lieutenant Junior grade, which is at O2. Its rank chapter, Domination Force, Gevura, the first Sapphire Rot of the root chakra, which is justice. Justice at the root. Justice at the root, Gevura. O3, the Soul Lieutenant, or LT's, rank chapter, Domination Force, Hod, meaning splendor. Now to the mid-grade officer idols. At O4, the Soul Lieutenant Commander. Its rank chapter, Domination Force, Tiferet, meaning beauty. O5, the Soul Commander. CDR's rank chapter, Domination Force, Neza, which means eternity. O6, these are the Sapphire Rots that I'm reading to you. The Sapphire Rots are going to play as leadership roles for this here spiritual Coast Guard parable. Kabbalistic leadership, Rabbinical Hebrew. O6, the Soul Captain, CAPT's rank chapter, Domination Force, Hesed, meaning mercy. Flag officer idols. O7, the 1-star rank, the Soul Rear Admiral Lower Half, or RDML's rank chapter, Domination Force, Yesod, meaning foundation. O8, the Soul Rear Admiral Upper Half, or RADM's rank chapter, Domination Force, Malkuth, meaning God's presence in the world. All of these are just characteristical traits that derive from the infinite source. And the Kabbalah is the esoteric knowledge which labels and describes how it does. And now everybody's about to get it, not just a few people. At 09, the 3-star rank, the Soul Vice Admiral, or VADM's rank chapter, Domination Force, Kether and Hokmah, equals crown, or supreme, or the supreme crown and wisdom. I'll put 2 Sapphire Rots in one space there. 010, I'll tell you why later. The Soul Admiral, ADM's rank chapter, Domination Force, Da'ath, meaning knowledge. And then at Special 1, the 5-star rank, the Soul Fleet Admirals, FADM's rank chapter, Domination Force, Bina, meaning understanding. And finally, the Soul Admiral of the Spiritual Coast Guard's rank chapter, Domination Force, Ein Sof itself, meaning infinite source. And that's where our powers derive from, which is why I have them all there, listed as the leadership for the Spiritual Coast Guard. And the next time, I'm going to be talking about the Spiritual Public Health Services. The outcome of objective. The 9-dimensional base indoor sword form parable. Enlightenment. When I get this lined up better, and I'm able to present it to you more effectively and more strongly, won't be too much stuttering, won't be no jumps on the messages, it won't be no mess ups, no hiccups, none of that. It's just going to be a straight cut. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all.